baby. 3, 2, 1.
Hi guys, Toon here back again. Right in, this week we got Sonic Wings 3 on the NeoGeo. This is the CD version. This game came out in 1995, made by Video Systems, who a lot of members of Video Systems reformed into a company called Psycho, which you may have heard of, which responsible for the Strikers 1945 games. They released the Sonic Wings, they released the two NeoGeo ones. The original game was an arcade, just a standard arcade game. They did actually release Strikers 1945 2 on the NeoGeo, which is a bit different to the arcade one, but it's pretty cool as well. But like I said, this is a vertical scrolling 2-player shoot 'em up. These games come out before the Strikers 1945 games, and you can see where they got their ideas from. So we'll start this up. So you got a choice of 10 characters in this one, which is pretty cool. Each ship's got different sub-weapons, they've got different main weapon, and they've got a different smart bomb. I'm pretty sure two of the ships you can hold down the button for an extra sub-weapon. Well, the buttons in this game are pretty much just fire and bomb. Pretty simple. Like the Strikers games and the other Sonic Wings games, it's pretty much, you don't have to fire very fast, you can fire very slow, and it'll still auto-fire the fastest level, so you don't have to button bash in these games crazy, which is quite cool. As you can see, some of the scenery is destructible as well. Some of that gives you power-ups. Trick with this game is you start off with low power. You collect, depending on what ship you are, you can collect multiple power-ups. But to stay full powered, you've got to keep collecting the P icons. And they last about 20 seconds, well, maybe less. Point scoring as well. The scoring in this game is all about collecting the items at higher levels. So what I mean is half the screen towards the top. If you collect icons or items, and that's it, you get pretty much almost double the points. If you collect them on the lower half of the screen, they're worth a lot less. I haven't found any other scoring mechanics apart from that. So this game's got your big sort of Sonic Wings bosses with multiple attacks, multiple pieces to shoot and break off them, and very nice explosions. This little ship that flies out of the bosses, the game gives you different levels as you fly through the game. I thought it was random, but it's not. It depends if you shoot the left or right wing on that ship that ends up out of the boss explosion. So I shot the left wing, so I'm going to end up going to the harbour type level. Which is quite interesting, but like a bit of a Darius sort of thing. Like you can choose which, once you know the layout of the levels, you can choose which level you actually want to go to by shooting that ship. Like I was saying, you've got to keep collecting that P icon to stay at full power. And I say, the higher up the screen you do collect those P icons, the more they're worth. But it's a bit more dangerous. That was... Say some of the ships take less power-ups to become full power. This one pretty much is 2 power-ups. But some of the ships take 3 or 4. Some of the ships are different speeds as well. This one I find is quite nice overall speed. Like I say, all the smart bombs are very different as well. This one's smart bomb basically takes all the bullets off screen and pauses the game, so you can pretty much stand right in front of an enemy and point blank them for extra damage. I say, it is a little bit difficult to sort of explain and talk about this game when you're actually playing it. Nice explosions. So I think there might be 2 extra characters. I'm not sure if that's in the arcade or here, but there is cheats for the arcade version, which I can't get working on here. So I don't know whether in the CD version those extra characters were actually unlocked. After so many stages, you get a bonus stage, which is what this one is. Like if I collect that down here, it'll be worth less points. Say 200. The idea is to collect them towards the top of the screen. I think the higher up you go, the more they're worth as well. Yeah, so there's 2 bonus levels. So this game does have 18 different unique levels, but the entire game takes 8 levels. But it does have 2 loops, so that's 16 levels altogether. There is a few weird little secrets, but I'm not quite sure how you trigger them. I think the last bosses can be replaced with secret sub-bosses. I'm not quite sure how that works. Some of the enemies in some of the levels as well you get little icons from little games before, and you get little sort of... They change, basically. Depending on whatever triggers that is. I have no idea what the triggers are. You can see the graphics in this one are quite nice. They're quite cool. Ooh. I think they are a little bit of an upgrade on the second one. Not much, mind. I'm going to do the pause thing there. There's the next boss. I'm just going to die yet. I say some of the bullets you can actually shoot, like the bigger yellower bullets, the ones that are not round, you can actually shoot those ones. Which does help because that would be solid to avoid otherwise. Right, let's go. Let's kill the right wing. See, this game is 2 players as well, as most NeoGeo games. Plus, if you play 2 players, if you put the 2 ships over the top of each other, you do like a more powerful attack, which could be useful for taking down bosses fast. Ooh, I'm just gonna die then, so I have to use a bomb. The music in this game is quite similar to Sonic Wings 2. It does the job, but it's not amazing. Sonic Wings 2 is a little bit let down by the soundtrack, but this one's a little bit the same. I should have got further up the screen then. Oh, this boss is tricky, but I've found I don't know if it'll work if you stay by here this side. It's a little bit easier to dodge where he chucks at you. Plus you can kill him from this position as well. By no means I don't think this is actually a safe spot as such, but... but it works. This boss has got some tricky attacks. He's going to do a big beam laser attack on me in a second. I'm not going to survive that long anyway. Right, so let's go back and let's choose a different ship. And we'll try and go a different way through the game. Sorry about it, guys. I had a cough in. I'm sure you didn't want to hear me do that. Right in. Let's choose one of the other ships. Let's use this one. The Storm Vic. A little bit of a slower ship. Well, I say ship, it's a plane. Ooh, they're quite cool. I haven't used this one yet. Oh, I like that. And that is a funky sub-weapon. Only problem, it doesn't fire, you haven't got any forward firing. I say each ship's got its advantages and disadvantages. That's a bit of a bummer. I don't know if you notice as well, each person's from a different country, so when you actually get the little bonuses, they're in different sort of monetary values. I don't know what R is, but then you get like yen, you get dollars, you get pound signs. It's quite a nice little touch. Makes it a little bit more busy on screen with this thing. Quite powerful though. Let's have a look at the bomb. Ooh. Russian dolls. Okay. That's odd. Oh, let's go to the right. Right, so we should get a different second level now. Ah, it's half of rubles, isn't it? The two Russian girls. It's a little bit awkward at not having a really good front firing. That's a good front firing, though, but you got to keep yourself powered up. That's the only thing. Oh, they're erratic. Ooh, better slow down. Like I say, there's some pretty cool big bosses in this game, and some nice little sort of variation with the background graphics, and there's a cool amount of like buildings and stuff like that to kill, which is quite cool. Excuse my bomb. Tell you what though, this bomb gives me a load of time. Ooh, can't get in that close. Tricky. Right, and guys, so let's cancel this. So what do I think of this game? Music is not bad, it does the job. It's not terrible or anything, but it's not the best music in the world. But it does the job. It's a pretty cool arcade shooter. It's got some good arcade fun, big explosions, some pretty nice graphics, loads of different levels to go through, and a significant challenge, especially if you're going to do both loops and do the bosses at the end, which it's going to take quite a bit of practice to do that. So there's a lot to come back to as a shoot 'em up. Playability wise, plays really good. Got loads of different characters too, so you know they all got their unique firing, their unique powers, their unique sort of special weapons and everything, and bombs, which is quite cool. So that adds a bit of extra to choose different characters. But yeah, it's a pretty nice NeoGeo shoot 'em up. I do quite like this game. I don't know whether I like this game any more than Sonic Wings 2 though, to be honest. I think it's pretty much the same sort of thing. It's more the same thing, just a bit different really. So I'm gonna go out and say I'm gonna give this a 7 out of 10. It's a good game, it's well worth checking out. It's a pretty nice arcade shooter, and if you've got a NeoGeo, it's probably a bit of a there's not that many shooters on the NeoGeo, so it's probably pretty much of a must play, to be honest. But yeah, pretty cool game. Check it out. See what you think. So I shall see you next time, guys. Ta-da!